5 ways to brainwash yourself for success. Imagine with me for a moment that you're standing at the edge of your potential. You can see it stretching out before you like a vast, unexplored territory. What's holding you back from stepping into that greatness? Is it fear? Doubt? Or simply the habits of mediocrity that have taken root in your mind? Today, we're going to embark on a journey together. A journey that will challenge everything you think you know about success and the power of your own mind. We're going to explore 5 powerful ways to reprogram your thinking, to brainwash yourself for success. And let me tell you, this isn't just about positive thinking or wishful dreaming. This is about fundamentally altering the very fabric of your consciousness to align with the success you were born to achieve. Success is not an accident. It's not a product of chance or circumstance. Success is a direct result of how you programmed your mind. And today, we're going to learn how to take control of that programming. 1, the power of relentless repetition. The first way to brainwash yourself for success is through relentless repetition. Your mind is like a garden, and your thoughts are the seeds. What are you planting in that garden day after day? Are you sowing seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation? Are you planting the seeds of success, abundance, and unlimited potential? You see, your subconscious mind doesn't discriminate between positive and negative thoughts. It simply absorbs and acts upon whatever you feed it most consistently. This is why relentless repetition is so powerful. Well, when you consistently feed your mind thoughts of success, it has no choice but to manifest that success in your life. So how do we harness this power? It's simple. But it requires discipline. Every single day, multiple times a day, you need to bombard your mind with positive affirmations and visualizations of your success. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thought that enters your mind? Is it dread for the day ahead, or is it excitement for the opportunities that await you? Yes, we do start your day by declaring out loud, I am destined for greatness. Success flows to me effortlessly. I am worthy of abundance in all areas of my life. Say it with conviction. Say it until you feel it resonate. But don't stop there. Throughout your day, whenever you have a moment, while you're driving, while you're waiting in line, while you're taking a break, repeat these affirmations. Visualize yourself achieving your goals. See yourself living the life you desire with such vivid detail that it feels real. Remember, your mind can tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. So when you consistently imagine yourself succeeding, your subconscious begins to accept this as your reality. And once your subconscious accepts it, it will work tirelessly to bring that vision into your physical reality. It isn't magic, my friends. This is the science of how your brain works. Neural pathways are strengthened through repetition. The more you repeat a thought or visualize a scenario, the stronger those neural connections become. Eventually, these thoughts of success become your default mode of thinking. You must be relentless in this practice. It's not enough to do it once in a while or when you feel like it. You must make it as natural and necessary as breathing. This is how you begin to rewire your brain for success. 2, the environment excellence. The second way to brainwash yourself for success is to create an environment of excellence. Your environment shapes you more than you realize. It's constantly sending you messages about what's possible, what's acceptable, and what you should aspire to. Look around you right now. What does your environment say about your aspirations? Does it reflect the success you're striving for, or does it reinforce mediocrity? You need to understand this fundamental truth. You will never outperform your environment in the long run. If you're surrounded by negativity, by people who settle for less, by an atmosphere of scarcity, but if you intentionally create an environment of excellence, of abundance, of high standards, that will become your new normal. So, how do we create this environment of excellence? It starts with the people you surround yourself with. Jim Rohn famously said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Who are those 5 people for you? Are they pushing you to grow, to dream bigger, to take bold action? Or are they pulling you down to their level of comfort and complacency? I challenge you to take a hard look at your inner circle. Are these relationships serving your highest good? If not, you need to have the courage to distance yourself from those who are holding you back. This doesn't mean you don't love them or care for them. It simply means you love your dreams more. Instead, seek out relationships with people who inspire you, who challenge you, who are already living at the level you aspire to reach. Make a deliberate effort to spend more time with these individuals. Their standards will become your standards. Their way of thinking will influence your thinking. But your environment isn't just about people. It's also about what you feed your mind on a daily basis. What are you reading? What are you watching? What kind of information are you consuming? Is it aligned with your goals and aspirations? I want you to make a commitment right now to immerse yourself in content that elevates your thinking. Read biographies of great achievers. Study success principles. Listen to motivational content while you're commuting or exercising. Surround yourself with images and symbols of what you want to achieve. Create a vision board that represents your goals and dreams and place it where you'll see it every day. Let it be a constant reminder of what you're working towards. Your mind is like a sponge, constantly absorbing from its surroundings. Make sure you're giving it the right material to absorb. Remember, excellence is not an act, but a habit. And habits are formed through consistent exposure and practice. When you create an environment of excellence, you're essentially putting yourself through a daily training program for. You're reprogramming your subconscious to expect excellence as the norm. This environmental brainwashing is powerful because it's subtle. You don't have to consciously think about it once you set it up. Your environment will do the work for you, constantly reinforcing the mindset and habits of success. 3, the ritual of rewriting your story. The third way to brainwash yourself for success is to engage in the ritual of rewriting your story. Every one of us has a story we tell ourselves about who we are, what we're capable of, and what we deserve in life. This story shapes our reality more than any external circumstance. What's your story? Is it a story of limitation, of past failures, of not being good enough? Or is it a story of unlimited potential, of overcoming obstacles, of being destined for greatness? Here's the limiting truth. You have the power to rewrite your story at any moment. You are not bound by your past, by your circumstances, or by what others have told you about yourself. You are the author of your life. This rewriting process begins with awareness. You need to become acutely aware of the narrative running through your mind. What are the recurring themes? What limiting beliefs keep showing up? Once you identify these, you can begin to challenge. Is this really true? Where did I learn this? How has believing this served me? And most importantly, what would be possible if I chose to believe something different? Now, here's where the real work begins. You need to create a new empowering story for yourself. This story should be grounded in your inherent worth and potential, but it should also stretch you beyond your current self-concept. In this new story, you are not a victim of circumstances, but a victor over them. You're not defined by your past failures, but by your future possibilities. You're not limited by your current skills or knowledge, but empowered by your capacity to learn, grow. Lay this new story down. Make it detailed and make it compelling. Include vivid descriptions of who you are becoming, what you're achieving, and how you're impacting the world. This isn't just a daydream. This is the blueprint for your new reality. Here's the crucial parts. You need to engage with this new story every single day. Read it out loud to yourself each morning. Feel the emotions it evokes. Visualize yourself living out this story. The more you engage with it, the more real it becomes to your subconscious mind. But don't stop there. Look for evidence in your daily life that supports this new story. Celebrate every small win that aligns with your new narrative. When you face challenges or setbacks, reframe them within the context of your new. They're not obstacles. They're opportunities for growth and demonstration of your resilience. As you consistently engage in this ritual of rewriting and reinforcing your new story, something magical happens. Your subconscious mind begins to accept it as truth. And once that happens, it will work tirelessly to bring that story into reality. You see, your mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. By consistently immersing yourself in this new story, you're literally rewiring your brain to align with this new reality. You're brainwashing yourself for success. This process takes time and persistence. You may not see immediate results in your external circumstances, but I promise you, changes are happening on a deeper level. Your thoughts are shifting, your beliefs are evolving, and your actions will inevitably follow suit. Remember, the story you tell yourself is the most powerful force in your life. It shapes your expectations, your decisions, and ultimately your outcomes. By consciously rewriting this story, you're taking control of the most fundamental programming in your mind. You're setting yourself up for a future limited only by the boundaries of your imagination. 4, the discipline of deliberate discomfort. The 4th way to brainwash yourself for success is through the discipline of deliberate discomfort. Now I know what you're thinking. Discomfort. Isn't success supposed to make our lives more comfortable? But here's a truth that many people miss. Comfort is the enemy of growth, and growth is the prerequisite for success. You see, your comfort zone is like a beautiful gilded cage. It feels safe, it feels familiar, but it's also the place where dreams go to die. Every great achievement in history, every breakthrough, every innovation, they all happen outside of someone's comfort zone. So, if you want to rewire your brain for success, you need to train it to embrace discomfort. You need to condition yourself to seek out challenges, to push your boundaries, to do the things that scare you. This doesn't mean you need to put yourself in harm's way or take unnecessary risks. It means intentionally putting yourself in situations that stretch you, that make you feel slightly uncomfortable, that force you to grow. Start small. If public speaking terrifies you, volunteer to give a presentation at work. If you've always wanted to start a business but fear failure, start a small side project. If you want to get in shape but dread exercise, commit to a 10-minute workout every day. The key is to do something every day that pushes you out of your comfort zone. It doesn't have to be big, but it has to be consistent. Remember, we're rewiring your brain here. We're creating new neural pathways, and that as you consistently push your boundaries, something remarkable happens. Your tolerance for discomfort increases. What once seemed daunting becomes manageable. Your confidence grows, your capacity expands. But here's the real magic. As you train your brain to embrace discomfort, you're also training it to see obstacles differently. Instead of threats, they become challenges to overcome. Instead of reasons to quit, they become opportunities to prove your resilience. This shift in perspective is crucial for success. Because, let me tell you something, the road to success is not smooth. It's not comfortable. It's filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments of... But when you've trained yourself to embrace discomfort, these challenges don't derail you. Now, I want to be clear about something. The goal here isn't to be uncomfortable all the time. The goal is to expand your comfort zone so that what once seemed impossible becomes your new normal. It's about growing your capacity to handle greater challenges and seize bigger opportunities. This discipline of deliberate discomfort also builds mental toughness. It develops your ability to persevere in the face of adversity. And let me tell you that mental toughness is what separates the achievers from the dreamers. At challenges. And you can do today that scares you a little. What's one step you can take outside your comfort zone? Commit to it. Do it, then do something else tomorrow. And the next day. Make this a daily practice. I remember discomfort is the price of growth. And growth is the currency of success. By training your brain to embrace discomfort, you're literally rewiring it for success. You're building the mental muscles that will carry you through any challenge and propel you towards your goals. 5, the power of purposeful identity shift. The fifth and final way to brainwash yourself for success is through a purposeful identity shift. This is perhaps the most profound and transformative of all the methods we've discussed, because it goes to the very core of who you believe yourself to be. You see, your actions in life are not primarily driven by your goals or your desires. They're driven by your identity, by who you believe yourself to be. If you see yourself as a victim, you'll act like a victim. If you see yourself as a leader, you'll act like a leader. If you see yourself as someone destined for greatness, you'll make choices aligned with that destiny. So the question is, who do you need to become to achieve the success you desire? What identity do you need to step into? This isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about consciously choosing to embody the best version of yourself. It's about deciding right now to step into the identity of the person you know you can be. If you want to be successful in business, start thinking, speaking, and acting like a successful entrepreneur, even before you've achieved that success. If you want to be a great leader, start embodying the qualities of great leadership in everything you do. If you want to be financially abundant, start making decisions from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. This identity shift requires more than just positive thinking. It requires a deep internal commitment to becoming this new version of yourself. It requires you to challenge and change your deep-seated beliefs about who you are and what you're capable of. Start by clearly defining this new identity. Who is this person you're becoming? What are their core values? How do they think? How do they speak? How do they carry themselves? How do they treat others? How do they handle challenges? Once you've defined this identity, you need to start living it. Not someday in the future, but right now, today. This means making decisions not based on who you've been in the past, but on who you're committed to becoming. Let's say, what would the successful version of me do in this situation? Then do that. Even if it feels uncomfortable, even if it doesn't come naturally at first. Remember, we're rewiring your brain here. New behaviors might feel awkward initially, but with consistent practice, they become your new normal. This identity shift also involves changing your language. The words you use shape your reality. So start speaking like the person you're becoming. Instead of saying, I hope to be successful someday, say, I am successful. Instead of, I'll try, say, I will. Your words are powerful commands to your subconscious mind. Use them wisely. Another powerful technique in this identity shift is to create an alter ego or a character that embodies all the qualities you want to cultivate. Give this character a name if you want. When you're faced with a challenging situation, step into this alter ego. Ask yourself, how would your alter ego's name handle this? This can be a powerful way to access resources and strengths you might not realize you have. Now, I want to address something important here. As you start to shift your identity, you might feel resistance. You might hear that inner voice saying, who do you think you are? You're not really this person. This is normal. It's your old identity fighting to survive. But remember that old identity is not the real you. It's just a set of beliefs and habits you've accumulated over time. You have the power to change it. When you hear that voice of doubt, acknowledge it. Thank it for trying to protect you. And then gently but firmly remind it that you're choosing to become someone new. You're choosing growth. You're choosing to step into your highest potential. This identity shift is not about denying who you are. It's about expanding who you are. It's about shedding the limitations you've placed on yourself and stepping into the fullness of your potential. As you consistently embody this new identity, something remarkable happens. Your subconscious mind begins to accept it as reality. And once that happens, it works tirelessly to bring your external reality into alignment with this new identity. You see, your mind is always working to maintain consistency between your internal self-image and your external reality. When you shift your internal self-image, your external reality must shift to match. This is the true power of identity-based transformation. This process of identity shift is not always easy or comfortable. It requires courage to let go of old familiar ways of being, right? It demands persistence to keep embodying your new identity even when you don't see immediate results. But I promise you, if you commit to this process, the results will come. Think about it this way. Every great achiever in history had to go through this process. They had to shed their old identity and step into a new one. The shy public speaker had to become a confident orator. The struggling entrepreneur had to become a visionary business leader. The aspiring athlete had to become a disciplined champion. You're no different. You have within you the same potential for greatness. The only question is, are you willing to claim it? Now, let's talk about how to practically implement this identity shift in your daily life. It starts with your morning routine. From the moment you wake up, consciously step into your new identity. Before your feet hit the floor, remind yourself of who you're becoming. Say it out loud. I am your new identity. As you go about your day, continually ask yourself, what would my new identity do in this situation? Then act accordingly. This might mean speaking up in a meeting when you usually stay quiet. It might mean approaching that person you've been wanting to network with. It might mean saying no to activities that don't align with your new identity and yes to those that do. Remember, every action you take is either reinforcing your old identity or building your new. Another powerful technique is to create a success ritual. This is a daily practice where you fully embody your new identity. It might involve visualization where you see yourself living as this new version of yourself. It might involve journaling, where you write from the perspective of your future successful self. It might involve physical movement, where you carry yourself with the confidence and energy of the person you're becoming. Then the key is consistency. Do this ritual every single day, preferably at the same time. This repetition is crucial for rewiring your brain and cementing your new identity. Now, I want to address a common pitfall in this process. Many people make the mistake of waiting to feel like their new identity before they start acting like it. They think, once I feel confident, then I'll start speaking up more. Or once I feel successful, then I'll start making bold moves in my business. But here's the truth. Action precedes emotion. You have to act your way into feeling, not feel your way into acting. Start embodying your new identity now, even if you don't feel like it yet. This brings us to an important point. I'm not talking about religious faith, although that can certainly play a role for some. I'm talking about faith in yourself and in the process of transformation. You see, when you first start this identity shift, there will be a gap between who you're claiming to be and your current reality. This is where faith comes in. You have to believe in your new identity even when you don't see evidence of it yet. You have to trust that if you consistently embody this new identity, your reality will eventually catch up. This faith is not blind optimism. It's a deep, unwavering belief in your own potential and in the power of personal transformation. It's the kind of faith that keeps you going when things get tough, when you face setbacks, when you don't see immediate results. Cultivate this faith daily. Feed it with inspirational content, with stories of others who have transformed their lives, with evidence of your own past successes and growth. Let it be the fuel that drives your continued action and persistence. Now, let's talk about handling setbacks in this process. Because make no mistake, there will be setbacks. There will be days when you fall back into old patterns, when you don't live up to your new identity. This is normal. It's part of the process. The key is how you handle these moments. Instead of seeing them as failures, see them as feedback. They're not signs that you can't change. They're opportunities to reinforce your commitment to your new identity. When you catch yourself slipping into old patterns, don't beat yourself up. Simply acknowledge it, recommit to your new identity, and get back on track. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about consistent progress over. This brings us to another crucial aspect of this identity shift. Self-compassion. As you go through this process of transformation, it's essential that you treat yourself with kindness and understanding. This doesn't mean making excuses or letting yourself off the hook. It means Acknowledging that change is hard, that you're human, and that every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Practice talking to yourself the way you would talk to a dear friend who's working on improving themselves. Be encouraging, be supportive, but also be honest and hold yourself accountable. Now let's address the role of your environment in this identity shift. As we discussed earlier, your environment plays a crucial role in shaping your identity. As you're working on embodying this new identity, it's important to create an environment that supports and reinforces it. This might mean making changes to your physical space to reflect your new identity. It might mean seeking out new relationships with people who embody the qualities you're cultivating. It might mean changing your daily routines to align with your new. Remember, every aspect of your life is an opportunity to reinforce your new identity. From the clothes you wear to the books you read, from the way you spend your free time to the goals you set. All of these can be aligned with who you're. As you continue on this journey of identity transformation, it's important to celebrate your progress along the way. Too often, we focus solely on the end goal and fail to acknowledge how far we've come. But recognizing and celebrating your growth is crucial for maintaining motivation and reinforcing your new identity. Take time regularly to reflect on how you've changed, on the new behaviors you've adopted, on the challenges you've overcome. Celebrate these wins, no matter how small they might seem. Each one is evidence of your transformation and fuel for continued growth. Remember, this process of identity shift is not about reaching a final destination. It's about continuous growth and evolution. As you embody your new identity and achieve new levels of success, you will likely find that your vision for yourself expands even further. This is the beauty of personal growth. There's always another level to reach for, always more potential to unlock. So embrace this journey of becoming. Embrace the challenges, the discomfort, the moments of doubt. They're all part of the process of transformation. They're all opportunities to reinforce your commitment to your new identity and to demonstrate your resilience. You have within you everything you need to become the person you aspire to be. You have the power to rewrite your story, to reshape your identity. It all starts with a decision. A decision to no longer settle for less than you're capable of. A decision to step into the fullness of your potential. So I ask you, who do you choose to become? What identity will you step into today? Remember, this choice is always available to you. Every moment is an opportunity to reinforce your new identity, to take another step towards the success you desire. Embrace this power. Use it wisely. And watch as your life transforms in ways you might never have imagined possible. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today. Decide who you're going to be. Then be that person fully and unapologetically. Your success awaits.